Morning, everyone. Welcome to Love Bay Afrobeat Music and Talk Radio. I am Roger Shaw, and this is the England Roger Sports Hour. There is so much going on in the world of sports, so much going on outside of sports as well. But this hour, we're going to focus on all the good things that are happening in sports right now. And it's a very interesting time. There is the baseball playoffs going, there's the NFL ramping up, there's the CFL here in Canada getting ready to get to the playoffs. So lots of things happening. There's tennis going on, and all these talk about who's coming back for the Australian Open. All the old stars, we shouldn't really call them old, but a couple old guys are coming back to see if they can get a final go around. So a lot is happening over there in sports. And we probably kick it off a little with, strangely enough, F1 car racing. We have been talking all year about the dominance of the Red Bull team, and they won the Constructors Award. And now Max Verstappen finally clinched the driver's title in Qatar, where he won again. I think he's been winning all year, but he finally clinched the title now, and he's three times champion. And there's a lot of conversations going on about just how dominant he has been this year. And the big question is Verstappen on his way to becoming the greatest of all times? Because the way he's going, if he continues like this, he's going to kick all those records out of the books and take them all over. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can continue. But for this year, for sure, he has been the dominant force and he has been unbeatable, pretty much unbeatable. His car is unbeatable and he's driving very well also. Former champion, and a lot is talked about Lewis Hamilton and his challenge that he's going to put up to Verstappen in the near future. But in this one, he was trying for a quick break and actually crashed into his own teammate, George Russell. And they had a huge fight over the phones about that. No one wanted to take responsibility until finally Verstappen said, George Russell said, well, you were wrong. And Lewis said, yeah, you're right. I was wrong. I'm responsible for this crash. So lots happening over there in F1. But also today we have Ingleton Libert. He's here as well with me. And
Roger.
yeah, so he's
How
a
are you?
busy, busy man, as you know, as head of Cricket Canada, and he's doing all these training and coaching sessions and seminars. But he's here with us today. So welcome, Ingle. How are you?
Thanks, Roger. I'm good. You might hear some background noise because I'm in Ottawa at the moment at a school. We're doing a coaching certification course, a level one. So I'm
Yes.
just here facilitating, helping to facilitate that program. But I know we have a lot to talk about, so I didn't want to miss. And as you were talking about Lewis and Formula One, yeah, it's been at least he apologized, and
He
people are
did.
saying, he is a the bigger guy for doing that, and
He's
it looks
manning
good
up.
on
He
him.
manned up. He
And
manned up
yeah,
for
he
this
did,
one.
and yeah, and whether he's going to be able to challenge next year or not, we're going to have to wait and see on the car
We'll have to
because
wait and see. But do you think Verstappen is establishing himself to become the greatest of all time, though? That's the question a lot of people are now asking.
you know, I've always thought he was a great driver. To become the greatest of all time, it is possible because things are changing. But if I think if someone gets a car similar to his,
They'll
then they can.
become they'll be
Yeah,
winning as much as he does.
his teammate Perez and those
Yeah,
guys, they can challenge him.
true,
So
true,
I
true.
think if they get there, and Russell is a young guy. If Mercedes can get it right,
Yes,
then
yes.
they will challenge definitely.
It would be an interesting challenge. But I hope next year, I mean, the year isn't fully done yet, but I mean, he has already won and Red Bull has already won. So
Already
hopefully
won, yeah.
next year we will see a competitive F1. I mean, I don't mind dominance, but not the type of dominance that I'm seeing in this F1 driving this year. It's just too one sided. It's almost why bother?
Yeah, it's so one-sided, and I think uh, midway through the season we knew who the winner was going to be. Although they say no, no, whatever, but we all
Yeah,
knew that there's only going to be one champion for this
exactly.
year,
Exactly.
and we don't want it to be like that. We want to see
No.
some sort of competition. It gets boring.
Exactly. It gets really, really boring. And then I think he's not the most fan friendly person either. So a lot of people haven't gravitated towards him. So he's winning and he's cocky, but not a lot of people like him. So it just makes it even harder. It's not like when Bolt was winning, everybody loved Bolt.
Yeah,
When Lewis was winning, a lot of people love Lewis. but not a lot of people love Max
No, for some reason he's just not resonating with the crowd for whatever reason, for
for
sure.
whatever reason. I don't know what
Yeah,
that is, but he needs to fix that. He
yeah,
needs
he
to,
does.
he
Yeah,
definitely needs to fix that. So what's going on with golf, Ingle?
yeah. Well, the Shriners Children Open is ongoing, and the big talk leading up to the golf was Lexi Thompson.
Yes,
Yeah, she played, and she came with the eighth woman, I think, to play in a men's tournament
men's
PGA.
tournament. Yes,
Yeah, and she looked good for a while. She had a good round yesterday, but she didn't make the cut. And she thought that if making the cut was her goal, and
yes,
she's accustomed to playing golf courses maybe 6,000, a little bit over 6,000 yards, but this one was over 7,000.
yeah. I know,
And
I
for her to
know.
keep up with the guys, and she actually did well, I think.
She did quite well. She only fell
Yeah,
short by 3 shots, right? So she was right
yes,
there. She was
she
right
was
there.
even. Yeah, to be even on a course like that, I think she was right there. No, on any other given day, even would have made the cut.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but just that she didn't, and she actually hit some bombs. It was, I think, she got one of her drives was close to 300 yards.
There you go. There you
So she,
go.
and she said before the tournament that this courses like this give her a chance to show how long she can be, and because
Exactly.
you don't have to hold back.
She
Yeah,
can just let it go, let it fly.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's good
So
to see, though. I mean, we always want to see just how good the women can compete against the men, and she gave it a
yeah,
really great shot. And I actually hope she comes back and tries another time.
yeah. I hope so, and I think she was motivated because before the tournament there was some talk that maybe it's just a publicity
Publicity.
stunt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I thought so initially, I must admit.
yeah. But then I saw that and I did some research and I saw Michelle We competed eight
Yes.
times in the men's circus. And
She
that's not,
was really, really good, and I thought she would have had a bigger impact against the men than she actually did, but probably
yeah,
shows the disparity between the two genders. But Michelle Wu is an awesome golfer.
she is, yeah. And in sports, I've tried it many times. I think Billie Jean,
Virginia,
she,
yeah,
yeah, with tennis, but it's just a big difference. The power that the men have over the women,
yeah, yeah,
it's not easy. But yeah, I think Lexi did well, and leading some good golf at the Shriners. Beside that, don't take Cameron Champ. He played some good golf. He's leading at 12 under. Griffin,
yep,
Nick Taylor. Remember that shot he did at
yes.
the Canadian Open, and
Open, yep.
he had a couple of putts looking like that again. And actually, one of the announcers said, "No, we're not watching a repeat of the
The
Canadian
previous
Open."
shot. I know.
Yeah, so he's at 10 under, tied for fourth. So
Yeah,
yes, I
yeah.
think a couple of good players at the top there. So the next 2 days are going to be interesting.
Yes, for sure, for sure. It's going to come down to the wire. I
Yeah,
can see it. It's a good tournament.
it is. So we'll keep an eye on the golf and see what's happening there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what else do you want to talk about before we go to your favorite topic of India
Before
versus Pakistan? But
oh,
anyway,
I
only kidding.
was I was actually disappointed with Pakistan, but we'll get to that. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get to that.
there's a lot of things that are happening in sports that we want to look at, but we'll get to them a little later. It's a lot of cricket stuff. We
Yep,
know that
yep.
cricket is quick. Well, actually, a little bit of you probably have something about it, and I do because cricket's bid. We'll
Yeah,
talk about that. Yeah,
that is huge, eh?
that
So
is very huge. Yeah,
it's huge for the sport, and I think I don't know. They're talking about the flag football and all of that coming in, so they're trying
yeah,
to diversify. And
it's
if they're going to diversify, then cricket, who is one of the top watch sports in the world,
hmm
must have a great chance to get in. So I believe in 2028. I don't know if Canada is going to be there, but I know Ingleton Library is
uh,
going to be there.
yeah, I'm gonna be there because I have to watch an Olympics, whether it's gonna be cricket or
Yeah,
all those great athletes coming through. Something.
yeah, yeah. But I think that it's almost a showing, in my opinion.
It is. It's just a formality because the
Yeah.
IOC has like they weren't originally on the short list.
Yep.
They put a proposal to the IOC and they've accepted the proposal. So it's just I think the
We got
meeting
a rubber
start
stamp it. Yeah.
today,
That's yes,
and
this
this
weekend.
and the thing that made me think it's a showing is because the meeting is in India.
There you go. You can't ask for a better setup than that.
Yeah, and that's the World Cup is going on. The
Done,
IOC
every,
people are there. They get to get a chance to watch. And yeah, the only
chance to
thing
make
I
a.
didn't like about the proposal, if it's true, is that they're only proposing 6 team tournament.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. I thought about that. I don't know how that. Yeah,
and it's gonna be the top 6 in the world, so it's a lot of countries will miss out on it.
a lot, a lot. But I had a question about that too because I'm not sure if the West Indies could go as the West Indies. They have to go
No,
as
they
individual
can't.
countries, right? So
They can't. So what happens is, like the Commonwealth Games, Barbados represented the West Indies because the West Indies had an internal competition, and the winner of that
the winner that.
went
Oh, that's what they would
went through.
use.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So if the West Indies is in the top 6 ranking at the time,
They'd
they
have to
probably
find
have
the top
something similar.
country
Yeah. So maybe
to
you'll
go,
find a Jamaica or a Trinidad.
or
Chris Gayle might come
Barbados.
out of retirement.
Well,
Well,
if
he
he's
never
going to the
officially,
Olympics,
has he
by then
officially retired?
by then he'll be about 50. But
Yeah,
but
he's
you
not.
never know with him.
Yeah, he said he's never officially retired. So
I know he needs to though. He needs
yeah,
to. He
for
needs to go
sure.
make his music. but
Yes.
but it is interesting that cricket is coming back there, and I think it's huge for the sport. I mean, it just opens up the sport. I mean, everyone wants to be an Olympic champion.
Yes, everyone. I think cricket was in the Olympics over 100 years ago.
So a long, long
Yeah,
time
a
ago.
long time ago.
It's
So it'll be
about
good to
time.
see it back. Yeah, and
It's about time it comes
it has
back.
to be the T20 format because some people are
Yes,
saying maybe T10 because it's shorter, but ICC doesn't recognize T10. They don't have a word. So it has to be in a format that's
that's
recognized by ICC.
recognized. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so,
yeah. I thought about that too because I know with the Olympics, it's a lot about time and how long the games take. So,
right.
but
And
you could get to a T20 in 3 hours.
yeah, and it probably will have to be similar to what they do with the soccer, where they start before the actual games.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
I
so
think so
that
too.
probably what we'll
Yeah.
see.
The key thing is that it's going to be there, in my opinion. So that's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
they
gonna
can figure
be
out
there.
all the details as we move along. But
Sure.
and it's in LA, right? So it's not
It's in
like it's
LA. Yeah,
far, far, far away. So we can all jump on a
so
plane
we
and go
can
watch
all go over and watch that game. Yeah, the what? Oh, and just stay for the whole Olympics. I
the
mean,
whole.
Japan next year. I'm sure you may be looking at going there,
Yes, I'm
but
thinking about it for sure.
and I think it's gonna probably be one of the most competitive Olympics. So
it
just
I think so too. It's shaping up that way.
yeah.
Definitely shaping up that way.
But since we're on cricket and we started with the Olympic stuff, which would have been later on in my news and notes, we can continue in that vein and talk
Yeah.
about the World Cup. I'm sure you've been watching the World Cup. The first thing I would say about the World Cup, Roger, is I'm not a big fan of the format. I
Mm,
of the 10 teams playing each other
yeah.
once. I
Yeah.
think it's long. It's kind of one
It
game.
stretched it out. It
It's
stretched it.
stretched out.
Yeah.
It's one game a day. Maybe even if
Yeah.
you had that format, fine, but not one game a
One day
day.
in a day.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's been dragged out.
it is, and
It just feels long.
it probably comes down to TV. Um,
Yeah, they're trying to maximize money, but I think they're not thinking about the fans because it's drying the fans' pocket and it's stretching us who are not there to be one game a day. You
yeah,
know,
it's
yeah,
not good at all, and I really think they need to do something about that. But it's too late now. That's how it is, and we have to
yeah,
just live with it. But
it's going along.
yeah, it's. But we'll start with the game today, and everyone got up to look at this game, looking at this fantastic game, and it as they say, cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties, and today showed that because Pakistan looked like they were cruising and set for 300,
I know.
but just something went wrong with Pakistan.
Pakistan's reputation lived out here because they are so unpredictable. But this was a little past that. But you just don't know what you're gonna get from them. But I didn't expect it to happen inside a game. It would be from game to game. But
Yeah,
I don't know. They just lost their mojo in the middle of this.
yeah, you went from 155 for two to being bowled out for
191.
191, and as soon
like,
as
like what happened?
yeah,
But I think
and
we talked about the Pakistan team being loaded at the top.
hmm
So after the top goes, then anything happens, right?
there's not a lot left after that because
Yeah, apparently. Apparently there's
yeah,
nothing left based on what happened today.
there's Babe Barbara Azam and Mohammed Rizwan. If they don't fire away, then there's not much. I thought
There's no
Iftikhar would
there's
have
no
done
Pakistan.
something, but there's not
Agreed.
much.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
all the bowlers for India actually shared the wickets. There were 2 wickets each
Yeah.
for, yeah, so it's definitely going to be an easy win for India, it looks like.
Yeah.
167 for three.
Yep. Yep. They have what 20 something runs to make in like 24 overs, so
Yeah, so
they can make one run and over and almost win the game. So
yeah,
it's
it's
yeah,
1.202 and over needed, and they're just cruising along.
it's crazy.
So
It's
it's going to
crazy.
be an easy win for them.
Yes.
And if you look at the tournament itself, any surprises to you in terms of the teams and at the top? Because we talk about South Africa all the time, and they look very good. They look unbeatable, but
It,
people say when it comes to the crunch time,
they
then
lose their yeah no they usually do, but I will say I mean coming in they have been tagged as the one to look out for. Like this is a team that
hmm
could upset everybody. So I do think they're going to be dangerous, but I still got to see them do it.
right,
I really don't think. I don't know. Let's see if they can find a way to do it now. But I don't think they usually show up at the time when they need to. But right now they're so confident that you just never know.
they're very confident. And two
Yeah.
and zero, they're in second spot now
But
because New Zealand is also looking good. New Zealand is
yeah, that's a
three.
solid team. That's a
They're
very
very
solid team.
solid.
But did
India,
Kane damage his finger or something?
yes, he had to retire yesterday. He got finger damage. He came in with a knee injury. Now his finger.
Finger.
Yeah, so
Tough for him.
he
But
had
yeah,
to.
to your original question though, I think Australia. I don't know. Do you know what's going on with them?
I don't know. I watched the 2 games Australia played, and Australia is one of the best fielding teams in the world normally, but they're dropping some
Always.
simple catches.
They're not sharp. I don't know
No,
what
they're
happened to
not
them
sharp.
here.
No, that's the worst fielding Australia team I've ever seen, and
Exactly.
they are just not looking good. Their batting is no is not up to
It,
scratch either.
that totally disappeared. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
it's
happening to this. They're my surprise as to how bad they're doing, I must say.
yeah, it's the whole all around us cricket from Australia is so bad. The bowling, the bat, the all around is just not looking like an Australian team, and for them to be second from last, I think, in the table at the
Yep.
moment,
Yeah,
just
they're at the bottom. Yeah.
Afghanistan behind them,
Yeah. Yeah.
it is not looking good for Australia, and they still can qualify because they still
That's
have
there you
7 games
go.
to go,
There you
and
go. So you
yeah,
can't write them out,
you
but
can't.
I
No,
mean they're off to a really bad start. But they can
very
turn it
bad start.
around. So I'm watching to see if they will, because everybody knows Australia is a big team.
A lot of the pressure is on Dave Warner because they're saying if he comes good, but we've been hearing that for a while, and he just seemed to be out of form and not getting
Yeah.
back in good nick. But
Is it age?
it could be, and he's thinking of his retirement because he already said he'll finish in January at home.
Yeah.
He wants
Yeah.
to he wants to finish at home. If they will let him, is a different
Exactly.
story.
That's, he may bum out here and they don't even bother with him. But I think he's
Exactly.
gonna find something.
Yeah,
He needs to. He definitely needs to.
he needs to, and the good players will find a way to bounce back, and I think he
They
will.
normally do. They
Yeah,
normally do. But I mean, India looks solid. I mean, as they always do.
yeah, they
So
do.
you
Kohli
know,
looks good.
yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of people wrote him off. I just think he was tired, and I think he's now not playing as often as before, and he's seeing his true talent come back out again.
Yeah,
So India's looking very good. England, I don't know.
England is up and down, isn't it? Okay,
Yeah, I don't know. Dangerous though.
dangerous. They started the last game. They started to look like the England we know,
English. Yeah, yeah.
and they played tomorrow against Afghanistan. I think they may be dominant in that one.
They likely will be.
They're likely will, yeah, they're likely to win that
Yeah.
and be dominant. But they have not looked that solid. Stokes haven't played yet.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if that's the X factor. I think as they move along,
Yeah,
when he joins, if it's gonna make a huge difference for them.
yeah, he's gonna make. And Moeen Ali's not in form. He actually got dropped for the second game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be. But I think England. If I have to pick 4 teams, I probably will go with India, South Africa, New Zealand, and England.
Oh, so you
Top
don't think
four.
Australia is gonna find a way back then?
No, I don't think so. They still have to play England. They still have
Yeah.
to play. They played. Did they play? They haven't played New Zealand either. So
No.
yeah,
Well, let's see. I mean, yeah, I'm probably with you. I think I'm always scared of Pakistan, as I say, because you just don't know what you're going to get from them. But
I yeah, they
I think
they can be, and it's probably going to be England or Pakistan. But
yeah,
Pakistan,
I'm
it's a
wondering.
funny team. They'll
Very.
lose big today, but then tomorrow
With
they'll come back and
they
win.
beat the best in the world the next day, so
Exactly. So
you just never know with
you
them.
never know with them. So
Yeah.
World Cup going along nicely, and
Slowly but
slowly,
nicely.
slowly but nicely. I can't take this one a day.
Yeah, it's
Well,
taking way too long.
yeah, tomorrow again. There's one day. I think on for the next week is all games just one day. I think there was one day early last week they played two matches in one day,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think for the next couple of weeks it's just one game every day, and it's not like India is lacking for grounds or anything.
Oh, they have more than enough. And
They've
they
got
have more than enough crowd to come watch.
and more than
And
enough crowd. That's
so
another thing too. The crowd is not really coming out to watch the games when it's not India.
I've
And
noticed that, and I'm wondering. I mean, I don't know. They should have done a better marketing job.
yeah, I think one of the things I've heard is that ticket sales came out late.
Oh, okay, okay.
And
That
they
doesn't
never,
help.
yeah, it didn't help when that happened. So
Yeah,
yeah,
doesn't help at all. But let's see what goes. I mean, India's at home, and usually when you're at home, you are motivated, but you're also under a lot of pressure. So let's see if they can fight their way through. But so far, they're looking good.
that's so true. They're looking good. Roger, we talked some women's cricket with West Indies and Australia before. We took a break last week. The show we had back in September.
Yeah.
Took a break for the Thanksgiving weekend, but I think I was alluding to the fact that I didn't think West Indies had a chance of competing, but they surprised me. And I
I
think
mean, one person surprised you, Haley
one person,
Matthews,
yeah, it was a one-person team because it was a Haley Matthew versus Australia,
Australia.
yeah, except for one game when Stephanie did okay, Taylor did okay as well.
Okay, yeah,
She
yeah,
had a 50,
she did, she did.
but
Not sure what's going on with her, but I mean, yeah, it was just, I don't know. I think Haley Matthews has proven to the world now that she is top of the top.
she is top of the top. I mean, like chased down 213, the first woman to score 300 runs in a three-match T20 series.
Exactly.
You know,
They couldn't get her, and she's
no,
hammering the ball all over the place.
yeah, she's just been in tremendous form, and
Yeah.
I think when you think of IPL draft and stuff coming up soon, Haley Matthews' name probably gonna be the first to go.
The first to call, yeah, yeah.
And
She did extremely well. I mean, I know she's good, but I mean, she surprised me a bit to how good she was playing.
I actually stayed up to watch her bat, and I just couldn't. The World Cup men's game was going on one of the days, and I couldn't watch it. I had
You
to
gotta
just
watch,
watch Haley.
you gotta watch Haley because it's
Yeah,
not the West Indies, it's just Haley.
just Haley. Yeah, she just looked so good. And that
Yeah,
213 chasing 212, that was a record chase. There was some fantastic inning, and even in the third game when
yeah.
they were chasing 190, she was going great guns until if she didn't get out, West Indies would have had a chance. But as
Would
soon
have
as
had
she
a really
got
good
out,
chance.
the team just
That would
folded.
have been a shocker if they had beaten them though and taken that
It would have been,
series.
yeah, because she got 79 out of the 143,
Three, yeah,
and
and she got
yeah,
about 132 out of the 213. So,
and what, yeah.
so
So it's just about Haley Matthew against Australia.
against Australia, one of the top teams in the world, and she had no fear. She had total and very scant regard for them. She just boom hit them out
and
of the park.
and she is actually now she won the player of the series
Yeah, for sure.
in that, and yeah, she's now the top ranked all rounder
Yeah,
in for women's for
yeah.
T20, and I don't think it should just be for all rounder. I think she should be the top ranked batter.
That's what I thought she would have been.
Yeah, she should be. I think they just put the all-round tag because she bowled well and got some wickets also. But I honestly
Yeah,
think she is the best batter in world
she
cricket
is.
right now.
She is
No
right now.
question
She
about
is.
it.
No
And not
question.
just yeah. So
She needs support, and she is asking for support, though. She's saying she needs somebody to step up with her and do something.
well, West Indies sending a team to Pakistan, an A team
The A team, yeah.
to
So,
Pakistan, and hopefully that will help. And
yeah. I
start
see Rashada Williams is leading that team.
Yeah, so Shada Williams is leading a lot of some of the under 19 players in that team,
Yeah, yeah.
and uh, St. Kitts has a pick actually,
That's nice.
Claxton. So
Okay.
they're all happy to know that she is there, and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it should be a good tour, and I'm not sure I'd want to. I shouldn't say it, but Pakistan, I'm not sure would be the first place I want to go, but
It's
it's a
not.
good. But
Definitely
you know,
not.
I had a friend. There was an over 40 World Cup just completed in Pakistan,
Oh, really? Okay.
and yeah, one of the guys who went told me the security and the things happening there first class. People want to see cricket there again. So he said it's just a few bad ones in between, but security
Okay.
and everything that they possess and the show there, they things that they did for them to make sure
Okay.
that they were safe. It was first class. So
That's good to hear. And
yeah,
they have to. They have to. And it's good to know that they're doing a good job doing it.
yes, for sure. And our good friend is Robert Samuel is going, but he's not the coach. He's the assistant coach.
Assistant, I noticed that.
A little surprised that they will send the West Indies head coach with that team as the
Usually
coach.
they don't. Usually they don't. You know, the head coach goes with the big team, not the A team.
Yeah, that is so true. Um, there was as we're talking about some cricket in West Indies, there was an incident, Roger, which recently was shocking, sad, where the former, I can't remember the name at the time, but the former West Indies under 19 manager was gunned
Gibbs
down.
Williams, Gibbs
Gibbs
Williams
Williams,
in
yes, yeah.
Jamaica. Yeah, I was
So,
just I
so
talk about in
sad.
shock. He's the vice principal for GC Foster College,
Right.
and he's the manager for the Jamaica under 19
Under
team. And I
19.
think yeah, he's
Was West Indies under
under
19 manager
19
recent
as
tour, yeah.
well. Yes, uh, sometimes these things happen. And you wonder why or how, but I'm just
Yeah,
blown away because he's a very public figure, and to see them just take him out like that,
yeah, and
I'm just in shock.
it's sad, it's shock. A lot of people seem to be shocked at the outpour of
Yeah,
grief
yeah.
and condolences going out and the stuff that people had to say. No, everyone seemed to be totally can't understand why something like this would
Uh,
happen.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know people's personal stuff, but I mean, from what I see in the public sphere, he
yeah,
was a gentleman, a very nice guy. Everybody loved him. He was very effective, and he produced results anywhere he
yeah, he
was.
did.
So
Yeah,
everybody
so
wanted to be around him.
yeah, but as you said, we don't know what
Yeah,
you know what
because they said it's
because
not a robbery, so it's something
no, see, from
definite for him.
reading what I read, that he was actually called outside and then
Yeah, yeah.
shot.
They came
Just
for him, so
yeah,
they came specifically for him. So I don't
yeah,
know.
it's sad.
Very, very sad. And embarrassing to me as well, but very
It
sad.
is, yeah, it is. It's not nice. Yeah, it's not a good
No,
thing.
no.
Um, Following up with some news and notes just to wrap up, so because there's a lot to talk about track and field and a
Yes,
lot of
yes.
back and forth, the new marathon and all this stuff
I
we got to
know.
talk about. And just wanted Canada qualifies for World Cup T20, so Canada will be going to the World Cup in 2024 in the Caribbean and the USA.
Yes, I
And
saw that. I was like,
it
oh, you were
was
worried last time we spoke.
yeah, it was hard fought. Yeah, because we won on run rate. We had to
Yes.
beat the other teams on run rate, and Canada came through and did it. And it takes me to this other story too, which is, I mean, playing against the lesser teams because Argentina's women are now the holder of the highest T20 score,
I
either men
saw
or
that. I saw that. I was like,
400,
what is going on here?
427. How do you score
Argentina.
427? Two centuries, one.
Argentina, though. It's like, where did that
Argentina
come
is
from?
not, yeah, I mean, it's against Chile, but it's in the record books.
It goes down as a record.
And they have two more matches to play in the series.
You just
So,
never know what's going to happen. But I mean, you make 427. I don't even know how you do that in 20 overs. and, then, and then you
500,
bowl out Chile for 63.
yeah, two girls. Lucia Taylor had 169, and Albertina Gallant, she had 145. And but extras, Roger, 73.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine
That's
64 no balls.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
they're playing against a team that doesn't know what they're doing.
exactly. So that's begged me to sometimes wonder, like, I mean, it's cricket. I mean, soccer. Similar teams get 12 and whatever nil.
Yeah.
I think one team got 24 nil at some time,
Some
but
point, yeah.
yeah, but I guess ICC is trying to grow the game, but do you give everybody ODI stat? I mean T20I status?
They shouldn't. They shouldn't. 'Cause
Yeah,
this is a travesty that happened here.
yeah, it is a travesty, and they can probably. I hope that Chile gets better and it's not as bad in the next game, but it very well could go to 500.
You never know. You never know. I'm not
Yeah,
so confident that they're gonna get better.
yeah,
But at
exactly.
least they may not have 64 no balls.
They may not. Yes, somebody might show them the right way to do,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
umpire's hand might get tired and say, you know what, I'm not calling
We
anymore.
don't call anymore. It's enough. I'm just tired
Yeah,
of this.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
and they may
embarrassing
have
for the
missed
game,
some
though.
too.
Yeah, who knows? They probably have done that and said, you know what, this is just ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Wow.
Just to wrap up the news and notes, the Super 50 stats on the 17th October, all the matches are in Trinidad. So
Yes, I
those
know that.
teams are out. I saw that all the teams have been announced. And
They are announced. Yeah.
yeah, Jamaica has a pretty strong team, I think.
It looks strong on
It
paper.
looks strong
I
on
think they're
paper.
strong in batting. I'm not so sure about
Yeah.
the bowling, but they seem strong in batting for sure.
Barbados looks strong on paper too.
Very strong. Very
Very
strong.
strong. Yeah. And it should be a good. The thing that I don't understand though, that why you're giving Holder time off, and also I think Puran they've asked for time
Yeah.
off and they've given them time off.
Wow.
This yeah, so and a somewhat of a surprise to me is that Shane Dorridge is the captain of the
Captain
team
for the.
right now.
Uh,
Yeah,
I wonder what kind of move that was about. Is it for experienced leader?
probably it is, and as they say, the CCC squad is basically a Barbados second team when you
It
look at it.
seems that way. It seems
Yeah,
that way. Is
so
what eight of them there or something
eight,
like that?
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so but
Wow.
support the Super 50 and let's hope we see some good cricket and some new rising stars coming on the
I'm
horizon
looking
for us.
forward to it actually because I think pretty much everybody's there in
Yes.
terms of the West Indian players, and I think it's going to be a competitive one where, people are battling for places on the team and all of that stuff. So we should see a very solid tournament, and I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. And as you said, it should be a solid tournament. So
Yes, yes,
that should go well.
it should definitely be well. I don't know
That's it
the cricket.
for
I don't
cricket,
know the
unless
cricket.
you have anything.
Yeah, the quick question about cricket. So I know
Hmm.
Joe Root is talking up his Sir Alistair Cook as the greatest ever. I
Greatest
don't
ever.
know. I, I don't know. What do you think about that?
The greatest ever batsman?
That's what he's trying to say.
Well, maybe
Well,
English.
maybe the greatest ever English batsman.
But I don't even think he's the greatest ever English
I
batsman.
don't think so either. So I wonder what is
No,
he talking
so
about?
when people are retired, people they look to say things about you and whatever else. But I saw that he retired. I didn't even take the time to read much about the article that I saw. But no, I don't think he was a good player. But to me, he was a
Average.
grinder. Yeah,
Average.
average. He was
Yeah,
not the player we can say was the greatest ever. I mean,
not even close.
not close. I mean, there's so many great English batsmen. Boycott, Gooch, all can
Gooch.
think of.
Yeah,
So to say that maybe the
yeah.
greatest in his time when he played.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I don't even know where that came from. But I respect Joe Root as one of the better
yeah,
batsmen.
I respect him. Yes,
So I
but
was a little
to say
surprised
that,
to hear him talking that nonsense.
no, yeah, because even Giroud to me is a better player than Alistair Cook.
Exactly. That was my thought. It's like, why are you talking about this? You're better than him.
Yeah, exactly. But
That is
it's
crazy.
his opinion, and
Yeah,
yeah, what can
yeah.
we say?
What can we say? All right, so we're gonna flip over to track and field now, right?
Yeah, we talked some track and field. Yeah,
And a lot is going on. Although the on the track season is ended, and we're getting ready for indoors in a month or so time. But the marathons are still going on.
the marathons have been fun.
And I know. So previously, before we saw the Berlin Marathon, and there was a world record on the women's side. Asifa came out of nowhere and broke the world record by 3 minutes. But then the Chicago Marathon last weekend saw a world record on the men's side.
The men's side, yeah,
Yeah, so Kelvin Kiptum ran 2 hours and 35 seconds. So he was just 35 seconds away from that 2 hour barrier that
So,
everyone wants to see broken. A massive world record here. But all along it's been Kipchoge, right? He's been the
mhm.
closest to it, and he's been the man. He's been the man. He's been the man. But Kipton, younger than him, much younger than him,
Yeah, he's much
is
younger. Yeah.
running a phenomenal 2035. So I think Kipchoge was 201.18. So
Hmm.
it's not a destruction of the former world record, but it is a new world record.
It's a new world record. Yeah.
And it was an awesome race by Kipton. And I think at this point in time, people are already talking him up that he's going to be the greatest ever. I don't know why people go so quickly to that, but
Yeah, they're saying that he'll be the greatest ever.
it's like, how do you get there?
I guess, is it by age?
Maybe I don't know why he's
Yeah, it's got to be because he's a young guy. Yeah.
he's a young guy, but I mean, Kipchoge to me is still right now the number one. But
I,
what I
I,
found strange, Ingo, is that
mhm.
up to now, Kipchoge hasn't acknowledged it. Hasn't
Right. He hasn't said anything, and that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, why
like
is he so quiet? He
what type of nonsense is that?
he made a tweet, but his tweet was he was happy to be back in Japan, and the
Exactly.
fans.
I'm like, what is he talking about? Your world record
Yeah,
just went.
and he didn't say anything. And do you realize also? I'm sure you must have noticed it. The world record. There's also a battle about the shoemakers.
Oh yeah, that is what I'm going to talk about next because
Oh, okay.
of course they said Kiptum is saying he's ready to take on Kipchoge anytime he wants,
Hmm.
but then it comes down to the shoe now, right? Because
Yeah,
Kiptum ran in this new Nike Vaporfly shoe, which is not even on the market yet, so it's
not
going to
on.
come out
Yeah,
in January. So this is a shoe that is just coming hot, hot, hot off the press, as they would say. And they're saying it's a shoe.
yeah. They're
They're
saying
saying it's a shoe.
it's a
So
light shoe, or maybe a
yeah,
one-way shoe, I guess.
yeah, it sounds that way. You wear it once, you break the world record, and then it's no good anymore.
Yeah,
So it's a huge conversation about the shoe now. So Nike came out first, Adidas came, took it over for a little while, and Kipchoge has been breaking with this. So I'm sure Adidas is now trying to make a new shoe for Kipchoge
I'm
to,
sure.
to
Yeah,
take on Kipchoge. It shouldn't be about the shoe, Ingle,
it
but from
shouldn't.
what I'm seeing here, it's going to be a Nike Adidas fight.
Yeah,
It
but
looks like these two are close, Kipchoge and Kiptum, and I would
mhm.
love to see them take on each other. But at the end of the day,
Yeah,
it may come down to the shoe.
it may very well. Yeah, but in terms of looks, Adidas have the edge
Yeah, for sure.
for sure. But in terms of performance, Nike is saying that they outperform them.
They outperform them now. They
Yeah,
outperform them now. So, and
and
what is
it's like,
interesting, it's the same shoe that Kipton ran in. Is the same shoe that Sifan Hassan ran in, and she won the women.
and she won the
It's the
runs. Yeah,
second fastest time ever,
yeah.
right? So, is it really the shoe now? Because I mean, not saying she's not a good marathon runner. She did win London, but
Hmm.
this is only 6 weeks. 6 weeks ago, she was at the World Championships running the
And
15, the
she was right.
5,000, and the 10,000. So that's three. And 6 weeks later, she's coming and winning the marathon in 2:13. The
Yeah.
old record was 2:14 before Asifa broke it 3 weeks ago to 2:11. So
Hmm.
now she's the second fastest ever. And I think it's the shoe, Ingle. I must admit.
Must be something with the shoe.
It
But
must be.
yeah, and I was surprised that she won so easily because there was nobody close to her.
Nobody even close to her. And I
No,
mean,
and then
I, I know when she won in London, she ran 2:17. So she's come down a lot. So, I
she's
mean,
come down. Yeah,
that's
so,
April. So
so
I
that's
don't
must
know.
be
That
definitely
sounds
has
like
to be in the shoe.
I think it's the shoe, Ingle.
And talking about not running marathons leading anymore, taking a break from marathons because to prepare for the Olympics.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
She's
so
confused, I think.
yeah,
I,
like to me, at the moment she's running marathons better than on the track.
Exactly. I think her chances of winning at 15, I think she doesn't have a chance. Kip Yegan is
Right.
going to kill her. In the 5,000, Kip Yegan is going up against good size, so I think she's in trouble there as well. And they've broken the world record each other once so far, back to back this
Back
year in
to,
the summer. So I don't think Hassan is going to beat them in those two distances. The 10,000, I don't know. She should have won, and she didn't at Worlds, but
mhm.
I don't know. But the marathon, nobody's beaten her so far. Well, it's just
Nobody.
taken a Sifa. A Sifa did win the Berlin in the new world record. So it was just between those two, in my
Those
opinion,
two.
right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what she's thinking, but if it was me, Ingle, I'm going to marathon. So,
Yeah, I would have just taken the marathon myself because
yeah,
I think she has a better chance.
yeah, but I mean, I guess she's done the track all her life, and I think she wants to. have that Olympic gold medal around her neck, saying she's a track champion. So
Yes.
it's probably difficult for her. She's not a true marathon runner yet. You know, she's still a track runner running a marathon, not
Hmm.
the other way around. So I think her first love is still track. But let's see if she gravitates towards a marathon permanently in the near future. We'll see how that one works out. But we have a lot going on in terms of the awards. It's award season coming up now, and World Athletics is saying, here are my 11 nominees for World Athlete of the Year, both men and
Hmm.
women. So let's start with the women. Asifa, we just mentioned from Ethiopia, she won the Berlin Marathon and set the world marathon world record. Femke Bal from Netherlands, she does 400, 400-meter hurdles. She's unbeatable in the 400-meter hurdles when Sidney McLaughlin is not there. And she has the world indoor record for 400 meters. We have Sharika Jackson from Jamaica, the 100 and 200 meter. She's number two all time in the 200 and a very solid world leading time in the 100 as well. So, Diamond League champion in both events. So, she's there. The one that I think is going to win, and I don't know what your thoughts are on this, is Faith Kipyegon from Kenya.
From Kenya, yeah.
Yeah, 15 mile and 5,000. And she set all three world records this year. As I said, the 5,000 was broken a few weeks ago, but she's
Hmm.
world champion over both events, the 15 and the 5,000. And as I said, she had three world records, and it's now down to two. You had the javelin thrower from Japan, Kitaguchi. You have the high jump champion from Ukraine, Ahuchik. You have the race walker champion from Spain, Maria Perez. And Godaf Teziga, as I mentioned, the 5,000, 10,000. So she did beat Stefan Hassan in the 10,000. And then she broke the Diamond League and World Championship, the world record for the 5,000 in the Diamond League finals. So Teziga, she's also very solid, but I think Kipyegon, because she had three world records, is probably going to beat her to it. Your favorite, Shakari Richardson, she's on the list
Shakari,
as
yeah.
well. World
I
champion at
saw that.
100 meters.
I saw that. She was on the list, but I don't think she has a chance.
I don't think she has a chance either. Yulma Rojas from Venezuela, triple jump. She has been winning, winning, winning. She's a world champion, world everything, world record holder, Diamond League champion. I just don't think she did enough this year to be in the winner here. I don't even think she's going to make top three. And Yavi from Bahrain, the 3,000 meter steeplechase world champion. So, that's a decent list, I think,
Hmm.
of women. I think, I must admit, it's hard to go up against Kipyegon, in my opinion. I don't know if Trezeguet is going to have a shot or a Sifa from the marathon, but I think those are the three. Femke Ball has a little shot, but I don't think she has enough to win either.
Probably not.
She, yeah. So I think, yeah, the people with the world records, I think, have the best chance. So I think it's a Sifa, the marathon world record, Kipyegon with the three world records, and Trezeguet with the 5,000-meter world record and the world champion over 10,000 meters. On the men's side, we have the javelin world champion, Chopper from India. So that's interesting to see that he made it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's surprise. Yeah,
but he's there. Ryan Krauser in the shot put from the USA. So I like him a lot. So I think he may have a
also, yeah,
shot.
it's a good.
Every time
Yeah,
he shows up, you're not sure if you're going to get a world record or you're going to have a champion. But he's always very competitive and he makes the sport fun. Right. So let's see if he can hold on to make top three. Duplantis from Sweden in the pole vault.
in pole vault. Yeah,
Yeah, it's hard. It's
That's-
difficult to go against him because
yeah, he's my favorite. He's my favorite pick, I think, for that.
yeah,
But
this guy breaks. I mean, yeah, everybody has to stop and watch the pole vault when he's out there. Everybody. He
and
is that good.
and as you said in one of the broadcasts, that he's systematic about it because he gets
Yeah.
100,000 each time he
Every
does.
time he breaks it. So
Yeah,
he goes up by a little centimeter. And I think he's
yeah,
now at 623. And next year it's going to be 624.
yeah.
So let's see how that one goes. Then we got Makali from Morocco in the 3,000-meter steeplechase. Jakob Ingebrigtsen. So he has done extremely well, but he lost the 1,500-meter world championship race.
Yes,
And I think that's a huge blow to him. He has records, European records, a ton of them. The only world record he has is 2,000 meters, which is not an officially recognized distance, but it's something that they run sparingly. So he doesn't really have the credentials, although he's hugely popular. Popular, I must say, huge. So let's see what they say about him. But I mean, I don't think he has done enough to make it as champion. We
right.
have Kiptum. We've talked about Kiptum from Kenya. London and Chicago marathon winner and the marathon record holder. So he has, I think, has a great shot of being in the top three for sure. it was interesting to see Ingle that Pierce Laporte from Canada. You
Yeah,
know,
I was wondering when I saw that.
like, whoa, he made it. So he's the world, I mean, the world champion in the decathlon, the world leader as well. And yeah, he made the list. So kudos to him. A very quiet guy, very nice guy, and it's you know awesome, awesome to see that a young man from Whitby is now on the top 11 list of World Athlete of the Year. So kudos to him and his
Hmm.
coach. Of course, we have Mr. Talkative himself, Mr. Noah Lyles.
Well,
100 meter, 200-meter champion, world champion, world leader, a lot of accolades for him. I think he has a great shot. He is trying his best to become the face of the sport, and he's doing a
he's
fairly decent job. So
and he's partying in Jamaica.
he is. His girlfriend is from Jamaica, from
Yeah,
and but I've seen him at the pool in Jamaica. I've seen him
right.
dancing, the
Yeah,
latest drift dance and all that. And he, you know what? He actually looked. I mean, I couldn't do it the way he did it for sure,
right.
but he looked really good doing it. So it's like, whoa, he's totally adopted to become a Jamaican man
Yeah,
now.
he looks at home.
He looks really at home. So
Yeah.
kudos to him. I have always loved him from the first time I saw him at Penn Relays when he was in high school.
Hmm.
Awesome, awesome young man. So I mean, he talks a little more than I thought he would, but I mean, he's trying to do what is best for the sports and for himself. So kudos to him, and I think he has a great shot of becoming World Athlete of the Year. You have Martin, the waist walker from Spain. You have Ten Tonglu, the long jump champion from Greece. He tends to win on his last jump all the time. So kudos to him for that. But I'm not sure if he has done enough to become World Athlete of the Year. Then you have Carson Warholm.
Yeah.
I think he was looking great going in, but then he lost like two races back to
Oh,
back. So I don't
yeah.
know anymore if he's going to be. But he's the 400-meter hurdles world champion, European
Hmm.
indoor 400-meter champion. So he has some credentials, but I don't think he has done enough.
He
So from
lost. Yeah, he lost his last two races, right?
yeah, he lost to Master and then he lost
He
to
lost to
Benjamin.
Benjamin. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's in a little trouble here. I don't think he's going to make the. He may not even make the top three, but I'm looking at Noah Lyles. I think the plant is. I mean, Ryan Krauser. Let's see,
Hmm.
if maybe Ingle Britson because he's a popular guy may get in because the vote agents vote and then the public votes. So
Okay.
let's see who they go for. We'll see for sure, for sure, for sure. In other track and field news, Mr. Ingle, in Jamaica, the Titan Track Club, led by Gregor Little and Michael Freitas, they had a nasty falling out, and I'm very
Oh,
disappointed
really?
because I like both of those guys. I mean, I love Gregor Little. He's a
Hmm.
really cool dude for me, but I mean, who knows what he does outside of that? Because it seems as if he got into a fight with Michael Frater, and Freitas left the club, and he said he's going
Wow.
to start his own club. And when he left, Johan Blake left with him,
Oh,
Akeem Blake left with him, and Brianna Williams left with him. So those
mm.
are the top three athletes in that camp.
In the camp, yeah.
And they're all gone with Michael Frater. So something must have happened here that is just sad, sad, sad to see. Something started off so good, up and coming club, and now everyone is gone. I don't know,
That's
Ingle.
not good.
I
That's
don't
not good
know,
at
man.
all.
It's
That's
not a
not
good
looking
look.
good. No.
So Frater is figuring out because he has to find a track to train and to
And
start
yeah.
a club and all of that stuff. So
Well, he's got three good people to with him so far.
he's off to a flying start. I mean, he
Yeah.
has world class athletes to start
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Gregor Little has none. So we will see how that one works out. But I mean, I really hope they can patch their differences and
Mhm.
fix it up. In some other news, one of my favorite athletes, Dina Asher Smith out of England. Awesome, awesome athlete from I've known her. She has been trained by John Blackie over there in England. And she says after 19 years, she is going to be changing coaches. So
Yeah, I saw that.
she's going to Texas to join Edric Floriel, the
Hmm.
Canadian record holder for triple jump. So a lot of people don't even know he's Canadian, but Coach Flo over there at the University of Texas with Julian Alfred in the camp
Right.
is going to have Dina Asher Smith joining them. So it's going to be interesting to see. That's great competition for both. I think they're both around 10-8 low, 10-7 high. So they can push each other to 10-6. So we'll see how
Hmm.
that works out. But I think it's a good move, although the timing so close to the Olympics can be a little tricky, but I think it's a good move for her. And the only other thing going on with track and field is not only track and field, but the Pan Am Games kicks off next week.
I
And I
didn't even
don't
realize that.
and I don't even know who's going, who knows about it or anything like that.
No.
But it's happening. It's happening.
Oh, wow. I
and
didn't
they
know the
make
Pan Am Games was happening next year.
uh,
Where is it?
it somewhere. So
Oh,
now it's bad when you have the Pan Am Games. No one knows about it. No one is trying to make the team to go to it. So it's in Santiago.
Santiago. Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, what happens there, or if anything happens there. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's unfortunate to have a game this late in the year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's unfortunate that you have a game this late in the year. But it's, Santiago, Chile is a nice place. Don't get me
Chile's a
wrong.
nice place. Yeah,
But I just think everybody's getting ready for the Olympics next year. So who's going to show up here? This is time for background training to get ready for the Olympics. So you're not
that's
going to get any real big name athletes at this thing unless somebody wants to make a team and get their resume fixed up with a representation thing. But
right. And a low time or something. A
yeah,
good
yeah.
time. Yeah,
But
but
it's
a good. Yeah, it's just bad timing. I think. Yeah, for sure.
extremely bad time and actually. But they make Carl Lewis as the guest of honor, so let's see if he can bring some people to the stadium. But so he's going to be there as a guest of honor. But
I didn't realize. I don't know if Carlos can bring anybody in the
I
stadium
don't think
anymore.
he's liked by anybody but him and
I
his own
don't
family.
think exactly. I don't think he's gonna bring anybody in.
I don't think so either. Oh
So
boy, but that's it for track. You had anything for track as well? Or?
no, that's basically it. I was gonna ask you what you touched on it. So you're saying about Dina, Asher, and Alfred working together. They
Yeah,
should put each other, and I think
huge,
that
huge.
it's huge. And but as you said, bad timing because most of the athletes I see they're taking vacation, taking some time on, resting.
Yes,
So who's gonna? It's just like no names. It's similar. It's getting. I mean, Commonwealth gets to a point where there are not a lot of big names, and then Pan Am,
yeah.
it's
Panama's the
just
same
no
thing
one.
happening too.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
there's no.
almost, why do you have these games anymore?
Yeah,
It's
it's
sad
why
and really, really sad to see. I mean, it's great exposure for people coming out, but I mean, it's like people don't care about that anymore.
people.
So,
Well, actually, cricket is making a push for Pan Am games as well. So
well, they may
maybe,
bring some excitement to the Pan Am Games because
yeah,
it's
maybe,
Pan Am Games is going down.
yeah,
So
it is some T10 maybe.
yeah, exactly, that would
Yeah,
probably make sense there. All right, moving over to football, or as North Americans call it, soccer.
soccer. Yeah,
So the Canadians men team, after the World Cup, they changed head coach. He left and he decided to take over the Toronto Football Club with his at the bottom of the table. I think they're at bottom of the bottom of the
it's,
bottom.
it's still there. Yeah,
John Herdman. He's a great coach, but he left, and I'm not sure if it's the right call. But he's now with Toronto. But the men's team had their first friendly game in Japan, and they got
yeah.
hammered 4-1. It's like, what is going on here? 4-1.
There was even an own goal if I remember.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll see if they can bounce back, but I think they need to get their act together and start looking up again because you don't want they had such a good run that you don't want to see them going down. They rank 44th in the world and they're doing decent enough, so they should keep going up, in my opinion.
And they have a couple of games coming up pretty soon. A tournament, I believe, for
Yeah, the
the Four,
Nations League
Four
stuff.
Nations League. Yeah,
Yeah, for the Gold Cup and all of that.
the
So
Gold
that's
Cup.
coming up soon. So getting into that. So the qualifiers are happening now, and Jamaica took on Grenada on
Mm,
Thursday, and they eased past them, I will say, not even using their A team. They won 4-1.
not surprising.
And that's so surprising. So they are looking good, and let's see how how well they do as they move forward. And I think if they win this zone, they're going to play Canada in the next round. So it's
Mm,
interesting to see for me. On the European side, getting ready for the Euros, we saw France defeating Netherlands 2-0, 2 goals from the man himself, Kylian Mbappe.
Mbappe, yeah.
And now they're qualified for Euros. And Portugal did the same. They defeated Slovakia 3-1. And again, the man, Ronaldo, 125th international goal. So he's still scoring 2 goals.
Yeah,
He's like 140 now, but he's he's still playing well. Two
still
goals from
playing.
him.
Yeah,
2 goals from him. So yes, he's made sure that they qualified, and so did Belgium. But England, I mean, this topic I don't know. What do you think about this whole new World Cup format that they're coming with for 2030, where they're going to play across 3 continents?
yeah. I think it's a bit. I don't really like it. I think it's okay to spread the sport, but three continents is not good.
Yeah,
And
it sounds weird,
it sounds
doesn't it?
very weird because the World Cup to me, it's either one place or two places close to each other.
Yeah, yeah.
People want, but to play across,
Continents.
yeah, maybe they've done some studies and they're trying to spread to get. I think maybe they're thinking now it's not more about who's in the stadium, but it's viewership and stuff. I don't know.
Maybe, maybe. I will say, I sort of understand a little why they wanted Uruguay
Europe.
in it because Uruguay hosted the finals, the first finals in 1930.
Okay,
So it's 100 years
a
of the
hundred
World Cup.
years
So
for
they
World
wanted to go back there. So maybe they just said instead of playing one game there, just make three. I don't know. Maybe that's what they did. One is going to be in Argentina, one is going to be in Uruguay, and the other one in Paraguay. So that's all South America.
Cup. Yeah,
And everybody goes over to Europe, sort of, because there's games in Morocco also, which is Africa. So, Spain, Portugal, and Morocco is going to host the rest of the games. So, it's 6 countries, which just sounds like a
six.
lot.
Sounds like a lot. So South America, Europe, and
And
yeah,
Africa.
Africa. Yeah.
So it's interesting to see that. But I will say, and I mean, this guy in Jamaica, Orwell Tracy, made the point that when Qatar was awarded, a lot of people said it's going to fail there, and it
Hmm.
was probably the most exciting World Cup ever in Qatar. So maybe this man has a plan. Infantino probably knows what he's doing.
He probably knows what he's doing. Yeah, and
But just looking at it now, I don't like. I don't
it's
like.
yeah, it probably has all to do with the 100th anniversary and something
That's a
about
part
it.
of it.
So,
That's part
yeah,
of it.
that's
That's
probably
part
the
of it.
biggest thing why they're doing it that way. But
Yeah, yeah. I think
it's
that's the driver,
but
in my opinion. But
yeah, it has to be. I didn't realize that you said it first was 100 years, but yeah, that
yeah,
has to be something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. It's about 100 years. I know that's why the Uruguay, because they hosted the World Cup final in 1930, and
Yeah,
I think they're going back to the same stadium, maybe. So it may be a huge thing for them. So let's see how that one goes. And the last thing before we jump out of here, Saudi Arabia is said to be in the lead for the 2034 World Cup. I don't even know
yeah,
if we can have
this
time to talk about Saudi Arabia
yeah, because
taking on the
this
World Cup.
yeah, they made a bid for it. They said they're seriously in the lead. Yeah, they want every sport in Saudi Arabia now.
They want everything there, and they started that league and everything. So let's see if they're gonna
Yeah,
win.
and they're
That is gonna
getting
be interesting to see.
players. They're getting players to come there too.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see if they actually win. But Australia is a little pissed off because they were the leaders before,
Hmm.
but now Saudi Arabia and the Saudi Arabian money.
The
Um,
money.
how are you gonna beat that?
I mean, yeah, it's Saudi Arabian money's back in so many sports now that
It's a,
it's
I
it's
know,
hard to beat them.
very difficult, very difficult.
And as you said, Australia won't be too happy.
No, no, they thought they were a shoo-in.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
boy,
how the world goes.
that's how the world turns, my friend.
Yeah,
All right, so that's a wonderful hour, the
yeah, it
Roger and Ingle
is.
Sports Hour. Love Bay, Afrobeat Music and Talk Radio. Best place to be, not only on Saturday mornings, but every morning, every
Every
afternoon, every night.
throughout
Awesome
the
place
day,
to hang out and listen throughout the day. So you should
just
join up.
just tune into Love Bay and fall asleep listening to it. So
Yeah, it's a
enjoy the
wonderful.
rest of your weekend, everyone.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and see you next week. Take care.